Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Grand Tactician the Civil War, a new turn-based and tactical Civil War game, which allows you to play through the war as either the Union or the Confederacy. It is July 16th, 1862, so we're just a little bit over a year into the war now, and the war's been going pretty well for the Confederacy, which is what we've been playing as. We've fought 14 battles, and we've won 10. Now, the two of the four battles the Federals have won have been major victories. So the ones they've won considerably. But we've inflicted, not quite 2-to-1 casualties on them. And things are going reasonably well for us so far. So well, in fact, and so well specifically in Virginia, that we have driven our 3 corps of the Army of Northern Virginia north and are threatening Washington, D.C. We will likely have a battle there tonight. And then we are also in the midst of an invasion of Kentucky, where we have been dealt a defeat in front of Louisville, and our force there is falling back, hopefully falling back on the reinforcements coming up from the left wing of the Army of Tennessee, which will even the odds a bit, giving us another 20,000 soldiers or so. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. I think we've got a battle that'll basically trigger almost right away at Washington. Or not. They withdrew. That's interesting. The Federals didn't fight for Washington, D.C. I guess they only had 10,000 soldiers there, and then, well, they have 33,000 soldiers here. We haven't actually taken the city yet. Oh, I'm aware of that, Const. Okay, here we go. The Battle of Washington, D.C. Wow, really? So only 22,000 Federals against our 47,000? This should be relatively... I mean, maybe we should just auto-resolve it. I guess they don't have the Army of Washington coming up to help them, so rather than fight and be concentrated, they're going to be pretty darn spread out. Jet, I believe, yeah, I've broken my artillery out into its own division in each corps. So the Union does have 23,000 soldiers. 8,000 of them are cavalry. Meanwhile, we've got like 50,000 or so. 56,403. So this is a good chance to take Washington, D.C. from the Feds. Not quite what I was hoping. I was hoping we'd have a big battle, but... I guess not. Also, why is Major General Johnston in command? I guess he's technically... You know what's weird about this is he's considered to be the commander-in-chief of the Confederate Armies as the highest-ranking Confederate general, despite the fact that P.G.T. Beauregard is the commander of the Army of Northern Virginia. Now, Johnston's the commander of the 3rd Corps, but the Army itself is under Beauregard. It is a meeting engagement. We're supposed to take Ray. The Battle of Long Bridge. I'm not familiar with this. This also looks like a different map. So, okay. All right. Robert E. Lee has a corps of soldiers. Let's take a look at the roadways here. So we're trying to get to this road. So we should have a corps on whatever road this is. So let's get them deployed a little bit more toward the edge. That's Lee's corps. Okay. Cooper, I guess, will deploy... to the side, not Cooper. Longstreet has a division. Who's all this under? Johnston. Johnson, I suppose, will deploy in the north and move toward this crossroad with Lee moving on the objective itself. And then Van Dorn's cavalry can stay in the south. Okay. We're going to be on the offensive, so we're not going to do too much here. I'm going to send Van Dorn out this way. Let's send Johnson. Let's set all these guys up in double lines, both corps. My third corps arrives in an hour. Hey, Steve. All right, so Lee has the orders to go to double line, and then we're going to advance on the objective. It actually looks like the enemy's already taken it, so let's do this. Let's advance like this. We'll put a brigade on this hill, some brigades on this hill, and then also to the south. Van Dorn is going to swing south as well. And then Johnson is going to swing down this main roadway to flank wherever the enemy is over here. And let's go ahead and speed things along a little bit as these troops start to march. Okay, we'll move Beauregard. Missinovan, thanks for the follow. All right, so Van Dorn's going to move first. He's got 3 brigades of cavalry, one with a Colt revolver, one with Springfield musketoons. Oh, shit. Pause. Why is this guy over here? He's going to run right into the goddamn enemy lines. Well, the enemy is in a pretty convincing defensive position. We'll see if they stay there. The AI has a tendency to redeploy willy-nilly. So they're deployed there. Where's Lee? It's got to be hidden up in some of these. All right. So Lee's going to deploy roughly where we want him to. And then Van Dorn is, well, potentially going to get one of his brigades killed. And then Johnson should come down something like that. Meanwhile, enemy artillery is firing away at our cavalry. Halt, Cutchaw. Or just engage with your Enfield musketoons. They probably have much better range than regular cavalry weapons. In fact, they might even have better range than the federal troops here in Washington. It looks like they probably have smoothbores, given the fact that they're not shooting back. Nearly offshore gaming, thanks for the follow. Okay, so we're engaging the enemy. And see, this is my frustration. The enemies looks like they're completely redeploying their right flank, or at least they're certainly shifting their cavalry. I mean, this looks like they're moving all those guys, which I get in the past the AI tended to just sit there and die, which was a problem. But then again, overcorrecting, you know, is also a problem. So I guess we'll see what they do. Meanwhile, I guess we'll just keep shooting at these unlucky bastards while they don't shoot back at me. Might as well. Can I march into the village to the south and avoid the federal left flank? Well, we don't know exactly where the federal flank ends. It may extend here a bit. We'll find out. I'd like to avoid the flank if I can. So this is an interesting, like, it looks like they're making a major shift to their right flank. On the other side, they're just eating this fire from my cavalry here. Let's dismount these boys. I'm assuming they'll fight better dismounted, and maybe they'll even reload faster. I don't know. getting artillery fired at us. Where are these guys going? They're just going up there willy-nilly. Alright, why don't you order all of your brigade to halt? These guys should be within easy range. The infantry's still coming over. Why are these couriers taking so long? I like how this courier's gonna like run right in front of the federal lines. Alright, we are taking some casualties for this cavalry up there, but they're doing reasonably well for themselves. Like, Van Dorn, you're right here, you could just tell them to halt. How's the infantry doing? Still getting into position? Yeah, none of these guys are in position to fight yet, so it's just the one brigade of cavalry fighting against the 1st Federal Cavalry Brigade, or 1st Federal Infantry Brigade here. Burning through a fair bit of their ammo. And they're under artillery fire. So the AI really, what they should do in my opinion is send out infantry skirmishers. They are redeploying some infantry on the right flank. Perhaps they're going to come down. You loose order the cavalry? Or are loose order cavalry still crazy overpowered? Sure. Van Dorn's having the first time ever he's got a brigade that's fighting well. Everybody's still getting into position. We're going to fast forward things a little bit. Yep, they're gonna move down and flank me probably. Yep. Fuck. And so this is where the lack of my commander being nearby will hinder us. Because I can't issue orders to them with Van Dorn all the way down here. Well, so they're gonna rout eventually. I wish I could just give them an individual order to retreat. But they're broken. You guys did well. You only lost 86 men. You inflicted over 450 casualties. I think that's pretty well. All right. Van Dorn, rally ya boys. Their loss resilience wasn't really hurt all that bad. So it does look like maybe they're going to rally. There's a chance. So the enemy did redeploy somewhat intelligently. They just took a while to do it. Let's bring Jackson's division up over here. It's going to be Hood's Texans' first battle. Several of these units are fighting their first battle. Okay, Johnson's going to move south. And so we had that little cavalry skirmish at the start of the day. Meanwhile, in the afternoon, soldiers are getting into position, getting ready. Hopefully from this height here, they can fire on the enemy. Still seems like a little bit of long range, but there are some heights on the left flank of this creek. Maybe there's an off chance they'll have line of sight to be able to hit the enemy. Jackson's going to move there. Walton's going to move here. Hood will move down here. Looks like Cutshaw's rallied, so Van Dorn did his damn job. Then we'll form up the cavalry on the right flank there. Thanks for the follow, Dante Mundo. Right, Johnson, move your corps down here to link up with Hood's flank, and then we can try and double envelop these guys. Jackson and Walton, we're going to move into single line. We'll keep Hood in a double. Okay. They're F now? Yeah. Hopefully, anyway. I'm going to dismount the cavalry. My artillery can't hit the enemies. Oh, maybe they can, actually. It says they're firing. I do see that they're reloading. Okay. Butler has some high ground. Yeah, a little bit. Waiting for Johnson to get into position before we spring our attack. Let's also take this artillery division Blanchard, and then see if we can't move our own artillery forward here to deal with these guys. Not really good high ground to bombard from on the southern flank. Oh, well, actually, maybe one of these guys can hit from here. I'm not sure if they'll be able to see. Okay. Armored gun train? Not that I'm aware of wholly. It says again, it says they're firing. I don't see any guns firing. I can hear some guns, but those I think are, oh no, those are ours, firing at the flank of those federal troops. Shipwreck, thanks for the resub. Appreciate the support. All right, Johnson, your boys are ready. So we're going to send Longstreet over here. There's a cavalry division around here too, right? Oh no, it's just Stuart by himself. All right. So Johnson's corps is moving. No PVM or multiplayer yet, Capped. Maybe someday, not right now. All right, we're going to move in echelon. So we've got the troops in the north moving slightly further down the line. Once Hood starts moving, then we'll move Walton. Okay. See how much of this enemy force we can bag. Okay, Cooper, why aren't you moving? All right. Let's move Walton forward now. Okay. Jackson. And Van Dorn. All right. So we're ready. We're moving in. See here the lead enemy cavalry brigade, the first, is engaging some of our lead elements of Hood's division. Colonel Albert Price's troops firing their Fayettevilles. Does look like the enemy might try and charge our troops. Smith's brigade is coming up and will fire into their flanks. All right, we're driving them back. All right, boys, let's go. Okay. Ah, crap. Oh my goodness. My mouse. One sec. Inopportune for a mouse to die on you, but I got it fixed. Okay. So this cavalry brigade here, the first cav, is getting shot to pieces. Working on the other enemy cavalry units now that are all advancing here. Another first cav. Another first cav. Okay. All these ton of guys here just sitting doing nothing in the south. Tree coming up there. Barbers, thanks for the follow. Alright, we've got a lot of brigades in action down here. Do we get a... Yeah, well, you get a total casualties capped. I don't know that it breaks it up by killed or wounded. Alright, Jeb, go on in. Dealing with retreating federal cavalry anyway. Alright. East, there's nowhere for them to run over there. Enemy commander on the right. That's just a commander, but yeah. Charge, boys, charge! They all say HQ. This says HQ too. I mean, the Susquehanna. The enemy is retreating. Good for them. That was a pretty fast fight. We torched their army pretty quick. Okay. Minor victory. Yeah, I mean, the enemy's coming apart. Okay. Yeah, it's still pegged as a minor. If I can force one of their brigades to surrender, it may turn to a major. We got to get 22% of their army as casualties. Okay. But I don't think the enemy's going to surrender. We're the Confederates? We are the Confederates. What are you talking about? This is near D.C. Okay. All right. Enemy cannon still active? Yeah, I guess. Go take those guns. We need 1.5%. Okay. All right. Let's speed things along. Major victory. There you go. We've inflicted more than 20% losses on the enemy. So this will actually more than 22%. So this will consider this a major victory. The enemy army, or what's left of it, did escape from our grasp. Oh well. I think that'll be my first major victory. For the CSA to win the war, you need the DLC. I don't think that's true, but in any event, fought near Long Bridge, Virginia, 8:30 a.m. on the 17th of July, 1862. 50,000 Confederates, 56,000 Confederates lose 847 men, 182 cavalry, 665 infantry. The enemy lost 4,600 infantry. That's almost 1/3 of their infantry force, and 2,200 cavalry out of 9,000. 5 out of 5 guns. A total of 7,000 casualties out of 24,000 soldiers. Only 846 for us. That was Napoleonic in its grandeur. But it's easy to do when you've got a big advantage in manpower. Hey, pal. White House tours? Maybe. Yeah. Sig. There's one or two exceptions, and they generally were really small ones. Okay. I don't even know what unit he commands. Okay, so here you go. The Battle of Long Bridge has ended, with the army of the Susquehanna retreating in panic. My command has earned us total victory with the enemy army running for their lives. The enemy has reportedly suffered a total of 6,483 casualties, 589 killed, 3,345 captured. Their morale is believed to be nervous. Our total losses were 847 men, 108 killed, 153 missing. We've captured 4,350 rifles and 3 guns from the battlefield. 3,102 or 23 enemy soldiers have been captured and taken to our prisoners of war camps. Okay, that's a heck of a lot of prisoners, and that's also a decent number of weapons captured. Get them out. Okay, I withdrew north. Okay, so Washington should be ours here very shortly. That won't end the war, though. Washington falls. Union capital taken. The president flees. Northerners in shock. Confederates press on. Press on. Press on. All right, so Washington, D.C. has fallen. I gotta think that Beauregard would be an absolute bona fide hero by this point. He is level 5 fame. He is legendary, but for whatever reason, they still don't like him in terms of, like, he doesn't have the little fame star. Joseph E. Johnston is defamed despite the fact that he commanded most of those corps who did so well. Magruder's respected. Lee is popular, and Van Dorn is, I guess, fame. Where's Early's brigade? Still being raised? New unit. All right. How's the army right now? Okay. Most of these units are good size, good shape. Some brigades are about to have their contracts run out soon. But I don't see any dramatically undersized units at the moment. Would Washington not have would Washington having fallen not ended the war? I don't know, honestly. I don't really think it's super clear what would have ended the war. Morale of the armies for the Federals takes a dip now. Their national morale falls by a huge margin. They're down to 56. The loss of Washington drops their morale by more than a fifth. So that was a pretty big defeat for them. You can see the war objectives. Break Union morale, which I believe has to drop below 20. Below 25. Capture DC, drops it by 20. Win a major battle, also helps. Union support below 60, no. Capture 3 cities, not yet. Win in Union territory, yes. We haven't captured Kentucky or Missouri. We haven't won 5 consecutive land or naval battles yet. Does it say where the new Union capital is? I'm guessing it's New York. But I don't see any indication of where it actually is. Or if it even gets moved. Okay. How are we doing on weapons? We've captured some from the enemy. Guessing we captured a bunch of shit. Got some Springfield rifles. Those are nice. Maybe some of those Enfields are also captured. I'm not sure. We have 7 12-pound Napoleons. Okay. Yeah, we did the 1861 start. It is 1862 now, though. Are there any artillery pieces that we have 7 guns or less that I can replace with Napoleons? I think I expanded the size of all my batteries, probably. Well, we could give Kemper the Napoleons, and then that would give us the parrots, the 10-pound parrots. I think we'd be able to use somewhere else. So let's do that. Let's upgrade these to Napoleons, or not upgrade, but change them out to Napoleons. And then there's a battery of Napoleons somewhere around here. There we go. So we'll take Kemper's battery and merge them once they're in the same location. 6-pound field guns, really? The 24-pound howitzers. And merge that battery. Not sure how many parrots we have. 8 now. So probably not enough to replace any units at the moment. Let's go ahead and move this forward by a day. Whoa. Okay, so the enemy is attacking us in Kentucky. They are attacking Albert Sidney Johnson's force. The right and left wing of the Army of the Tennessee have merged. So we have about 38,000 infantry and 6,400 cavalry against 43,000 infantry and 18,000 cavalry. So we aren't outnumbered. The enemy is very cavalry heavy, and we are going to fight this battle. It's going to be General William Keim versus Albert Sidney Johnston. But that'll be a battle for another time. We're about 45 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. We did manage to take Washington, D.C. from the Federals. We'll see if we can continue the invasion of Kentucky after the next battle, but that will be for the next video. So until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.